Hey everyone, this is Joey Milam at Alpha Mortgage Advantage and wanted to talk today about the money side of a real estate transaction, specifically upfront, earnest money and due diligence money and what that means. I would always recommend a client be represented by a buyer's agent when purchasing a home. There are just a lot of things that an agent can do for you, not the least of which is help negotiate, manage the transaction, and explain all these things to you so you really know what you're doing. That being said, if you do find yourself in a situation where there is not an agent involved and you're purchasing a home, I think it's good to know this. I myself am a licensed real estate agent. I've actually been licensed for half of my life this year, 18 years. But I do not actively practice in terms of representing buyers and sellers. I do maintain my license and keep it active. I like having the knowledge of that side of the business and being able to help my borrowers with MLS data and things like that. It gives me a lot of good information that I can use to help people. That being said, I think it's important, as I said, to know what earnest money and due diligence money are in the state of North Carolina. This is specific to North Carolina. So in years past, when you went and you made an offer on a house with a standard North Carolina contract, you would typically offer earnest money. This is money that you're essentially writing a check. It's going to be held in escrow, oftentimes by either the real estate attorney or sometimes the closing attorney. Now, this is money that you had a certain period of time, and we call that the due diligence date, where you pick a date, maybe 3-4 weeks out from the time you go under contract, and if you back out of the transaction for any reason up until that date, you get the earnest money back. After that date, you do forfeit that money and it goes to the seller in most cases. Now, that money is essentially you saying that, hey, Mr. Seller, I am offering this money as sort of a, not a down payment, but just sort of a deposit on your home for the period of time that I'm looking to do my due diligence, order the appraisal, get the inspection, that sort of thing. Now, a number of years ago, the state real estate board added on what is called due diligence money, which is confusingly not really anything to do with the due diligence date. Due diligence money was traditionally in years past a smaller amount, maybe a couple $100s. In the current market that we are in, which is a very competitive one for buyers, there's oftentimes multiple offers on homes. We're now seeing in the last year or so that really the due diligence date is the higher number. I have seen due diligence monies well into the thousands of dollars, sometimes tens of thousands of dollars. This is money that when you write that check upon the offer, when you make your offer and it's accepted on the home, you're actually going to write that check to the seller of the home. That money is going to get sent to the seller, and the seller is going to cash that check, and that money is essentially gone. You will never see it again unless you do buy and close on that home. When you do buy and close, both of the monies, whichever amount you've offered, earnest money, due diligence, oftentimes a combination of the two, is credited back to you. It does go towards your closing costs, down payment, whatever the case may be. So you get the money back, but if you were to back out of the transaction 3 days into it and the seller's cashed that check, that money is gone. So I think it's very important to know, that money, what the risk you're taking when you make those offers. Now, that is just the kind of the cost of doing business these days, and it's part of the process. This is also a reason why you really want to make sure that you are pre-approved and that you have a really good, solid pre-approval, preferably from a local lender such as myself. We're really going to look into it. Online lenders, big banks, nothing against them, but oftentimes they will give out pre-approval letters without maybe doing as much due diligence. Whoever's done it, they should have collected documentation on your income, on your assets, pulled credit, looked at these things to really make sure that you are in fact approved and you're going to get the loan. I take that very seriously, possibly one of the most serious things about my job. When I have clients that are offering money up like this, and I know that it's non-refundable money, I really want to make sure that they are good to go and that there's very little to no risk of them losing that money. So again, just something I think very important through the home buying process. So if you ever have any questions about these types of things, feel free to reach out to me. I love talking to buyers, borrowers, anytime someone wants to kick around some ideas or just ask questions about the industry and the process. Happy to help however I can. My direct number is 910-250-8888. Feel free to reach out anytime, call, text. My website's www.joeymilam.com, and hope everyone has a great week. Thanks so much.